Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Throwdown OCE Open Series, day one of League Play. This is Yummy Cheese, man. You know, Career Lord, and I am hysterics. No full names, no longer needed. We just saw Chiefs take a loss in day one, game one of League Play.
Well, the Titans can bleed, and now they're going to be up against Retirement Home. The opportunity for the newcomers to come in and maybe take advantage of that.
That'd be a really sad start for Chiefs. They come in, they are the reigning champions. First day, lose 2-1. Second day, potentially lose 3-0.
But sad start? Like, I wouldn't say that. I'd say it's a great start for everyone else. This means that, like Yummy said before, there is so much competition in OCE, and we've gotten that much better. We could end up seeing someone new at RLCS. We could end up seeing more Titans coming through.
Well, Retirement Home are definitely the ragtag team coming through. They are three retired players, essentially. Elusive and Kia were not going to come back to Rocket League, but the fact that they came back and they performed at a level that got them to qualify is immense. And, I mean, they have the caliber as individuals to play well. I was just really surprised last week about how well they played together.
Yeah, I like Days as in the Retirement Home as well, even though he may or may not have actually retired. He's part of the...
He took a season off as a sub, I guess.
A hiatus.
Yeah.
Yeah, close
hiatus
enough.
home.
Close enough. So, the Chiefs, we talked about them not being mechanically comfortable, mechanically correct last game.
I mean, they cleaned it up by the end. They warmed up. Jake especially right at the start. He was really cold.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good sign for them coming through because it was a pretty rough start for them mechanically.
Yeah, and you expect a lot more because that's one of their, one of the huge parts of their arsenal is the fact they are normally mechanically amazing. Drippe and Torsos especially are pretty freakish when on their A game.
Yeah, Days had a huge week last week. He's had a long career, but last week, what was really surprising, he's a player who goes incredibly far forward. He goes hyper aggressive, and usually that is to the detriment of his team. But when you've got a player like Elusive who has really perfect positioning throughout play, and you have somebody like Kia who's a supporting player, it actually works really well.
Yeah, you got a team that actually can rotate well, which is a problem you normally would have in a pickup team.
Yeah.
They don't know how to comms, where they need to be, and it's a bit messy, but they can kind of shortcut the way through that.
And I think we didn't see that from Days when he was in Corva Day. Like, we didn't see the good side of Days. We didn't really get to see, I guess, a good side of Corva Day anyway.
Well, it's more like in Corva Day, he had three players that were just like him. He had Siki, and he had Plitz, and they were all wanting to be aggressive player, all being that scorer, and they got in each other's way. But now he's got those two supporters. He was getting like insane shots. He was the top goal scorer by a mile last week. 1.5 goals per game over 8 games.
With a decent shot percentage as well, pulling out that 37% is pretty nice, especially when you're going up against really good teams to do so.
Yeah, exactly right. So with Days in mind and with Chiefs' recent loss, do you then put it against the Chiefs to take this win?
No, I think I'm still going to have to give it to the Chiefs. The fact they're warming up through the game as well does give me a bit of faith that come this one. They're pretty prideful. I think they got a lot to show for this one, so they'll pull through, but I think it'll be 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, Love Decks were coming through. We had a lot more expectations. I was expecting them to get a game, and they got 2. I'm seeing this as a Chiefs 3-0.
Wow. Okay, so that's a pretty dominant performance, and I guess Retirement Home maybe not as dominant as someone like Love Decks, but I've actually gone the other way. I think Retirement Home will take full advantage of Chiefs not being in form in day number 1, and it excites me because I think Retirement Home could definitely take a majority of this series of 3.
Yeah, they could win the series. They could at least take a game, because as we said, taking a game this early against an expected top team is really good.
Well, let's talk about warming up throughout this series, because if Chiefs are anything that we're expecting them to do, English persuades me again. I'm so sorry, Yummy. It is going to be a moment like this. We see the Chiefs needing to warm up.
Yeah, Chiefs have had the chance to warm up. This is their series, and it is a must win for them if they want to take that top seed position that they would expect at the beginning of the season.
Drippe now, they're all pushing up. You can see Jake all the way back on the other side of the field. Chiefs Esports, after getting demoed, slows their aggression, you'd think, but that is an interesting angle coming through. Drippe here as well, and Chiefs pushing forward. This is what we saw in Game 1 against Love Decks. Pushing forward, the aggression, definitely in mind for the Chiefs.
Retirement Home have got the work cut out for them. They have been great at holding the backboard so far, but until they can get onto attack with any form of boost, it's not going to lead to anything.
Days now. He's the one that's pushing up. A good shot coming through from retirement home, but instantly cleared away. There's Drip Bay. Doesn't beat the ball. In fact, it goes over to the right-hand side, and Elusive now onto him as the ball gets cleared. Back down for Chiefs. Popped up. Could be an opportunity for retirement home. Days, but it's swiped away by Drip Bay. We're not done just yet. Kia popping the ball over. Another member. That's Elusive. Interesting angle off the backboard. It's not touched, and Days was in there again. The aggression not stopping from retirement home.
Yeah, they're going balls to the wall right now, just chasing that, getting enough touches to keep this forward, and this is the reversal. This is the chance for retirement home to keep the possession for the first time in this game.
A bunch of 3 unlikely players holding it to Chiefs in game number 1. Definitely what we'd like to see. Jake, ball's going to be touched off the backboard, but it's not really redirected anywhere. On the side of Chiefs Esports, they're now going to be pushed back into defense, and you got to be careful of Days. He's a very fast player, but right now be careful of the Chiefs. That backboard has not been touched, and not finding those angles again. The Chiefs Esports struggling a little bit here mechanically once again.
Yeah, that's not what you expect from Drippe. He was the player of 2017, so where is he in 2018? Because he shouldn't be missing those shots.
It feels like we could definitely have some more Titans coming through. Day 1 may be a little bit early to tell, but Chiefs are not looking strong, and that's what matters right here and now. Jake off the roof will not find the second touch, and retirement home, they're holding out into defense. As I say that, Torsos hits the pitch.
That was perfect, right over the top of them. The pinch was into the net, and Elusive caught off guard, but Torsos read it perfectly. He got the touch into the top, and that was just unsavable.
More expecting of what we see when we talk about the Chiefs. 2:30
I
on
mean,
the
it
board.
wasn't a clean. It's not what I think of when I look at a Chiefs attack. We saw some of it earlier with some big pass plays out from Jake into the center field, but it's still what I expect to see from Torsos.
Yeah. Well, Chiefs Esports, careful does it. Days finds one.
That's just these slight mistouches as well. Like, look at the hesitation from Torsos and Jake there. That is not the rotation from the Chiefs that we expect. This is day 1. This is the online competition, and they are not performing the way they should. And Days, he's in his normal spot.
That's exactly right. Days fitting nicely into this team. As we talked about before, Days can do exactly what he wants. He can push up. The retirement home are going to cover him. Trippe now pushing forward. 2 minutes 10. Chiefs, although they get the first goal, it's not really good enough. Retirement home holding strong, and to me, it just feels like game 1 going against Love Decks from the Chiefs.
Well, there's still 2 minutes, and it is a tied game. It's not anyone's game just yet, but we're just surprised by some of these misses. As again, goes wide, and it's going to give up the attack completely.
Also doesn't find the second touch. This is Chiefs Esports in a detrimental position. Have to be careful. That ball is just dribbled up. Kia coming in, will not find it. Elusive now. Could be a good pass. Crossfield over to Days. He passes it forward. Loses possession. Now goes over to Drippe. Ball centered again. Kind of not what you want. Elusive going to push back into defense.
He's been really willing to as well. Just always making sure to push back here as well. And Days is just seeing in the center field, intercept anything and try and keep possession for retirement.
Retirement home now. Big job ahead of them. Get game 1 against the Chiefs. Drippe. Sorry, that was Torsos. Now from Drippe. Right wing. Dribbles the ball down. Be matched by Days. Now Days have an opportunity off the corner for retirement home. Not going to continue possession, but instead, with a minute remaining, still finding this ball hanging around the midfield, but a play for Chiefs as it comes off the backboard. It's not touched. That's a goal. No! Hits the crossbar, but followed up by Jake for the Chiefs.
It's not the cleanest goal ever, but it was a fantastic pass out from Jake. Drippe just going a little too high off that bounce. But the fact that Jake recovered so quickly and got there, that's the sign of him being warmed up.
That's right, but it is still a nail-biter for the Chiefs. It's not as comfortable as we've seen. It's not as controlled as we've seen in the past, and that's what really concerns us. Elusive now could be another good setup. We've seen this in the past already today, using that side wall. Time at home, Days back into defense. Good to see a very versatile player, but there's a setup for the Chiefs, denied by Kia.
So far, just Chiefs are holding so much forward aggression. It's what we expect, and that's how they normally defend as well, just by making sure that the opponents don't get the ball.
And it looks like they're doing that once again. Jake off the wing. There it is, Drippe.
That's the Drippe we love.
Back in form.
That's the angle that comes out. That's the striker of 2017. It's a difficult angle to find, especially over the top of Days. But it looks like Chiefs are going to take out game number 1.
In a very comfortable fashion by the end. But you have to say mechanically that at the start of this game, they looked like their old league play day 1 selves.
Yeah, I mean, league play as well for the Chiefs here. Even if they don't perform brilliantly on day 1, it's usually a shaky day. We accept that Chiefs do have off days. We saw last season a couple of losses that we didn't really expect from them. But the fact that they kind of warmed up at the end of that match is a great sign. Drippe getting his striking. Jake, he seemed warmed up as well. And Torsos has just been consistent, I think, over the day, if not super amazing. But, you know, you can't expect him to be scoring 20 goals a game.
Still more consistent. But I think it's also the fact that this Chiefs lineup, although the same, are going up against players they've versed in many different teams. They're now bundled together in a very different style, very different form, very different play style than what they would have been used to in 2017.
Well, the huge advantage for a retirement home is that nobody knows really how they're going to play and what they're going to do. That's how they're going to catch Chiefs by surprise. So they really kind of wanted to win that first game. But I'm really excited or interested to see how retirement home go. I think they're really just a team that have formed for the OCE Open Series. But if they prove well, if they do really well throughout this, or even prove potential, I think that they're a team that'll go into the OCE Championship as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, why wouldn't you? You've seen members develop throughout our Open Series.
Well, I
in
can
the
tell you
past.
why. Elusive's starting uni, so, you know, he's doing a medical degree.
Oh, yeah?
He's a smart guy, so it might be like an actual retirement home. He might re-retire.
Oh, well, back into the scene and back into action. Game number 2 now, and a 1-up for the Chiefs. Things looking good. Straight off kickoff. Torsos. No one's in goal. And that ball should go in, but Drippe misses the touch.
He went for the block. He thought it was coming through. He's like, I'm going to dunk this one in. But the defender was missing as well. It's unfortunate because that could have been the quickest lead of it ever for Chiefs.
That's right, but you can see the confidence boost coming for the Chiefs, and now it looks like they're willing to play the ball just that little bit faster. Getting the ball away, Elusive with a shot, hits the crossbar, but there it is, the follow-through from Days.
That's the Days quick turnaround, and this has gone from a Chiefs 1-0 all the way to a retirement home 1-0. Just coming off the backboard there, no defense, and Days, he's had a big tournament so far. He was in a lot of unsuccessful teams last year. He was never quite there at the top, and I mean, this might be his chance.
I mean, from a team that was kind of, you know, scurried around as a joke, as, you know, these 3 players that, you know, we're just going to play a bit of Rocket League. Taking on a very serious aspect here going against the Chiefs. 1-0. Only a minute has passed, however, the Chiefs esports. Now the opportunity arises, the ball hits into Kia. They're not done on the passing just yet. Jake plays it very smart, goes around, tries to read it a little bit better. Very close call for Jake.
It was a clever play by Jake, but maybe too clever because it was read in the end by retirement home. There's another opportunity. A shot goes wide. Torsos. He's not quite getting those angles yet.
Feels like there's some unintentional fakes coming through from the Chiefs, whether they're missing the ball or just trying to get in the heads of retirement home.
Tends to be a lot of both teams going for a block on each other, thinking they're all each going to strike. It's not quite working out.
Retirement home, still up that goal. Pushing forward. Kia now, setting it up, but Days has already backed off, and as Kia runs out of boost, he's going to have to push back, get bumped up by his own team member. It's not going to be too good. Days off the backboard. It's not touched by Jake, but there's no follow-through, unfortunately. Ball will come up, and Kia, easy save, but Jake, you got to be careful of him. The Tyrant coming back in. Nice touchdown. Will just be directed to Torsos, over to Drippe. Ball comes to a standstill in this corner. It's actually centered away, and retirement home, got to be very, very careful because the Chiefs, when they push into attack, they can be quite devious to watch.
I know the Chiefs, and all right now they're going to be feeling pretty frustrated. They've had so many opportunities so far in this game and never really been able to tie it up.
1-0 still. Jake setting up for the center. 2 members commit up. Chiefs esports pushing through Days, missing that ball. Retirement Home looks like they're playing a little bit more defensive here, just with that 1-goal advantage. Chiefs won't be happy with it. I mean, they need as many points in this series as possible, especially considering how the last one went. Okay, we'll leave it over to Jake. Chiefs still pushing forward. Good angle. Hit away by Elusive. Ball still getting pushed up off the backboard. The double touch for Torso.
That is Torsos' signature. He's done it so many times. It's the second time he's done that today. The double touch by Torsos. I think he's good friends with Devo as well, and he's got a little bit of inspiration here.
You'd have to, considering how
He's
many times.
He's actually the player who's gone into practice mode, into free play, and he's practiced double touches, Devos, just over and over and over again. That's why he's so good at them.
Well, that sounds about right. I mean, we've seen it so many times in 2017. That was the, like you said, the signature move of Torsos. But Chiefs, although a little bit flashy, have to be careful here. The ball gets directed away. Drippe, that will be his clear, but not done yet. Days around the corner. Jake will use that momentum of the ball to just swing it back to the other foot. Into the defense, Retirement Home now looking to push more aggressively, now looking to attack as they are equalized 1-1.
There's a few touches coming out here, like that one from Drippe, that I'm not really sure of. Chiefs are great at keeping possession, but that's just passing the ball over to Retirement Home. I have to see if they adapt that over this series, but it's only a 3-game set.
That's right. I mean, it's different from a best of 5. You don't find an exact win. You find points. And every single game now has so much more weight.
I mean, you still get a win. If you win 2 games, you've won the series. But
there's more.
You just don't have much time to really adapt in these series.
That's right. Because of that, I mean, it just means that there is, I guess, just that little bit of extra pressure. Retirement Home now. A minute remaining, and that pressure doesn't look like it's really constricting them as they push up. Days back into defense. It's going to be a great clear, but matched by Torsos immediately. And this is the problem with the Chiefs, is they can read the ball a lot quicker than you can. And Jake will get the equalizer above the yellow line.
That's the turnaround for the Chiefs. They were a goal behind, but a dunk from Torsos is all it takes to set that one up. Retirement Home had sent 2 players for defense, and as soon as Torsos gets a crazy maneuver like that, they're taken out of the game.
Well, so a better series so far from the Chiefs. Days now looking for his own double touch, but a little slow. Kia, very close angle. Chiefs will hold the defense for now, but Retirement Home got so much to say in this series. This is going to be a good setup from Elusive. Actually knocks it around. Looks for the angle. Defense still holding strong for the Chiefs, but you can see Retirement Home, they're actually pushing the ball around and pushing Chiefs around a little bit as the ball should be open, and Kia will hit the crossbar, then hit the goal.
Oh, I'm so glad that went in. I thought it was about to end in heartbreak, but they have done it again. They've tied up the series, made it a 2 apiece, and that took all 3 members of Retirement Home. It's good to see them in a solid front rotation.
That's right, 15 seconds. Look at this, Retirement Home pushing against the Chiefs, and the double touch.
Oh my goodness, Torsos!
That has got to hurt.
What is this man drinking this morning? What has he had for breakfast? Because that is another quick 1-2 off the backboard, and that might just secure the win.
I'm so glad we've seen the Chiefs back in fine form, and especially from Torsos. Well, it's the stuff Giants are made of, because that was a huge maneuver to pull off a kickoff at the end of the game. Chiefs going to have to defend this, but you got to think that it could be easily done.
Yeah.
Chiefs find the win, but only just.
Whew, it's a tight series. Retirement Home, I mean, they're showing that they are a top team. They did this to We Win When We Can last week, where they end up getting reverse swept. But they kept every single game close. They put in their effort, and you can see here, Chiefs, we know that they had a lot of missed opportunities. They had 14 shots in that game, and only 3 goals in the end. But by the end, they were really upping their accuracy. They knew where they were hitting the ball. They stopped getting those passes to the opponents, just hitting the ball mindlessly. And this might be the start of the end for this series.
Maybe it is, but you still can't go past the Retirement Home pushing Chiefs, I guess, into some kind of corner. Like, if Torsos didn't get that shot, then...
Considering who these players are, the fact that they retired and they came back, that they're not, trying to be the Chiefs. They're not trying to go to RLCS right now. They're just trying to come and play their best. I mean, it's just like an A-League team coming up and going and playing in Premier League over in England. It's insane that they're able to do this well.
Well, I've still got to put it to Days, though, the reason that Retirement Home are doing well. I mean, it's obviously a team effort, but Days is pretty much on point.
Yeah, he's been finishing it really well. Kia, I mean, he's come back from RLCS. He is an international player.
Yeah.
And his big thing is that at RLCS, he didn't feel like he performed. He felt disappointed. And he's actually putting on a great show. I think if you're watching Kia, you can't say that he's not a great player.
Yeah, that's right. With the different team dynamic, Kia putting on a star performance and against one of the top teams, the longest running team in the world. As Yummy said earlier, Chiefs lead by 2. And now as we go further into the last game of the series, Chiefs looking to close this one out, but Elusive, very interesting setup. He bounces against the wall. Days now going to give the right angle over to Kia. Ball not out just yet. Here comes Elusive. Ball centers itself, and Days for the shot off the wall. Elusive playing with angles there. Someone has to get back in defense, and that's going to be Kia.
That was going in from Elusive as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be a montage and a half, but the fact that Chiefs read it shows that their defensive prowess.
Speaking of Reddit, Torso's trying to make his way on there as well. And with another double tap, no wonder. Chiefs Esports. Game number 3 for them. I mean, it would give them 4 points for the win.
This is what they want. You know, they didn't want to afford a loss against Love Deck, so they need to 3-0 this one. Because again, they want to come first place. They want to make it a guaranteed second at least when they get to the Gauntlet Finals.
Jake tried to dribble the ball around this corner and playing with fire a little bit.
Just got poked as well by Retirement Home. Ended up pinballing that all the way down the other end.
Retirement Home playing with fire. Said that a couple of times just because it's pretty much true. Days gets exploded. Chiefs push the ball up. They're not really playing, I guess, as aggressively as we saw in Game 1 and Game 2, but as I say that, Torso's pushing the ball up, and there's the shot from Jake. Jake going to bump out. Not going to do too much, but still a bit of a nuisance.
Jake was incredibly aggressive. He chased that bump for a long time, but that's also showing the level of trust that these Chiefs guys have, that they have played together so long that they're willing to take themselves out of the play for each other.
I guess that's the difference when you look at a team like Retirement Home, a team that's been put together, and then Chiefs who've been together for the longest time, quite literally. And you see that experience, you see the comms, you see the shot calling as well. Key up for Retirement Home, pops the ball up, and Days now off the backboard. It's going to be untouched. Drippe comes up. A third touch missed by Kia. Elusive as well. An opening for the Chiefs, but Days hits it on right back and a miss for the Chiefs.
That was a quick turnaround though. Days just put so much pressure on this. He was willing to turn. He got a strike that Jake was not expecting. Jake didn't see it coming, went the wrong way. That might be Retirement Home bringing it back, but we saw it before. A tougher game remaining.
That's right. Also, you cannot count him out because the way things went down before, it was a little bit dangerous there for Retirement Home. And Retirement Home still holding. Chiefs pushing the ball up, and immediately we see the attack beginning once again. This orange side, Jake setting it up. Not a big enough clear. It's going to go over to Drippe, but it is handled well by Retirement Home. Angle correct. Positively great for Jake. It's around the corner. 2 minutes left remaining. A demolition coming from Elusive. Almost doesn't matter, or maybe it doesn't. Demolition on Jake. Here we go. Here's Drippe, but we'll meet head-to-head with someone from Retirement Home.
It doesn't matter. They've still got the pressure, and this is coming just into their net over and over again. Retirement Home have no boost left, and they're going to have to hope for a miracle, a big miracle clear to continue this one on.
Key on the defense, not going to be good enough. Chiefs getting control of the ball once again, and Torso's waiting around midfield. Recovers some boost, picks the ball back up, and will beat one member out, looking to beat Days out as well. Following the ball just himself. Jake sets it up. It's beautifully done, but the Chiefs, they're not locking one in, and that's what matters. The semi-auto touch almost coming through. Retirement Home, hold on.
They have held on for now, and it's they got to hold on this aggression because they are playing quite defensive, which is allowing Chiefs to get all of these shots on goal, and eventually they can't save every single one.
Elusive now, going to keep on the defense, and Retirement Home just have to hold on for a minute longer. Chiefs send Jake up. Torsos. Still not going to find the pass they need. Trippe sends it back down. Jake following it off the wall. It's put center field. Around this midfield now. Torsos playing with the ball. Chiefs, again, that setup not finding its mark. Missing the ball from Torsos. Crucial, but maybe it works out. Defended well by Kia. Retirement Home, they keep pushing the ball out, and Chiefs, doesn't matter how many attacks they launch, they just can't break through.
Some solid touches from Days, just getting it up. They have 20 seconds on the clock to buy to win this one out. Jake with the double touch. That could have led to more, but finally Kia gets the clear. This is going to be a goal for Elusive as well. Honestly, that play by Kia right here, this is what we've kind of been missing from Retirement Home. They've been great at defense, and the difference between Retirement Home and Chiefs in the first two games was that Chiefs had those defensive passes. They were able to run to it and quickly turn that around and get a goal off it. That's a great sign from Retirement that they're starting to adapt and learn as they go.
That's right, and this team has just taken a game against the Chiefs, so although not a 3-0, not a 2-1, still holding one game for the Chiefs against the Chiefs, that is a big thing to walk away with for Retirement Home.
It's huge for Retirement Home, but what's bigger is, honestly, I'm really impressed with their play. They have some of the best rotations that I've seen in the region, and they're a brand new team. Like, that's so unexpected.
And the growth you can make when you do this well early, and you have all of this tournament to kind of refine yourself before you even go into the championships, where the huge RLCS is potentially on the line. This is so much potential growth they could have. It's going to be crazy.
I'd like to see them, they had some passing at the end in that last game. If they incorporate that into regular play, well then the next teams that they're going to be playing is just going to be incredibly scary. You know, it's not going to be easy to take them down.
Yeah, especially when you talk about the defense they had before. Like game 2, we saw Chiefs come through with 14 shots, and we know Torsos got 2 awesome dunks.
Yeah.
So that's not a lot of shots that are coming through from their 3 goals, which means they had 11 shots to convert 1.
Yeah.
That's some crazy defense.
But even in Chiefs wins, they didn't have like a dominant performance that was like, okay, look, Retirement Home are not putting up a fight. It was those crazy shots from Torsos. It was 1 goal separating, I believe, in game number 1. That was like, okay, Retirement Home came this close. I mean, what's stopping them from, okay, we face them in the gauntlet, and it's that 1 game difference towards Retirement Home that makes all the world.
Well, it's going to be scary, right? If Chiefs, in the first times they come up, they verse Retirement Homes, and they take them to the edge. They verse Love Decks to get taken to the edge. They haven't versed Darksided. They haven't versed Tainted Minds. They haven't versed We Win When We Can. This is the guys that we'd be like, yeah, they'll probably come 5th or 6th, and they're going all the way to fighting against first. It is going to be crazy the whole way through the gauntlet.
That's the end of the day for the Chiefs as well, and they end up 3-3, which is a huge surprise for, I think, everyone. I mean, it's not just me. And Retirement Home, just taking 1 game off the Chiefs, every single game puts them that step closer to making top 6, or if you can make that jump to top 4, that's a big showing.
Yeah, and Love Deck's going to be over the moon as well with their 2-1 day.
Yeah, that's right. They only played 1 series, but I think, so the Chiefs, by the end, look like they switched on, but is this really, is this what we're going to see from the Chiefs, or are we expecting more next time around?
It's what we were talking about as well a bit earlier on, that the Chiefs do have off days. I mean, it is them coming back from the RLCS, just like last season, and they did have a bad day last season.
Yeah.
So tomorrow is going to be the big tell for the Chiefs on what Chiefs we're really seeing this season.
Yeah, they're normally consistent over the scope as well. So they may have a bad day, but it's if they have like a bad month, that's when we have to start being worried, because they don't do bad months, with the exception of that period we're not going to do.
I can just imagine Chiefs as well coming like 4th, 5th, 6th, and then just having a great finals run and just
we want the
blitzing
challenge
all the way through.
We want the challenge, and I mean, it'd be a great warm-up for them, especially going towards OCE Championship, which has actually just opened up its registrations the other day, and you can find it on our website, throwdownesports.com, where sign-ups are now open, and we'll kick things off right after the OCE Open Series, but you got to get through this first. However, gents, coming up next, Retirement Home, they're not done. They're going to take on We Win When We Can, which is another qualifying team. So I think this will be a good testament to their skill going up against another, I guess, rookie team, which is not really a rookie team at all. We're going to have a quick 3-minute break. When we return, Retirement Home taking on We Win.